Some of these rural women have stepped out of their village for the first time. For many, this will be their first train ride. Their destination? The Kumbh Mela at Allahabad. Travelling in the same compartment, sharing the same religious fervour, are these middle-class urban families. 5-year-old Ronita Bose is not bothered about her school exams next week. For the moment, she is only excited about her 10 dips in the Ganges. Like her parents, this young student of advertising wants to wash away her sins in the river. What is it that propels pilgrims like her to the Kumbh? A personal belief or simply peer pressure?
50-50.
Miles and miles of railway tracks, hundreds of trains. This is the world's largest railway network. And today, as it will be for the next 2 months, its main payload will be devotees. Devotees who believe in a tradition that is said to be centuries old. A tradition of pious Hindus assembling for a religious fair called the Kumbh Mela. Although Kumbh is celebrated once every 4 years at 4 sacred pilgrim spots across North India, the one that occurs every 12 years at Allahabad is considered that much more special. Because Allahabad is situated at the confluence of 3 sacred rivers. But this, the first Kumbh Mela of the new millennium, is said to be incomparable. The formation of constellations that marks this occurrence is unique. The last time the stars arranged themselves such was 144 years ago, making this the Maha Kumba, the most auspicious of the Kumbh Melas. Maha means mega. The mega religious fair will last for 43 days in an area of 15 square kilometers. In the coldest months of the North Indian winter, estimated number of visitors, 30 million. For this most awesome display of religious fervour, the ordinary folk come to the riverbank on foot, but the sadhus come in style. These saffron-clad holy men turn this congregation of simple faith into a grand spectacle. Their processions take the fair to mystic heights. The origin of Kumbh, like the origin of all things Hindu, is not entirely clear and is therefore fiercely debated by historians and theologians. The festival ostensibly celebrates one of the creation myths of Hinduism. To create the universe, gods and demons joined hands to churn the primal ocean. As the ocean frothed, miraculous gifts appeared. The most valuable was the Kumbh, a pot filled with Amrit, the nectar of immortality. Then started a scramble between gods and demons to possess this elixir. Gods handed over the Kumbh to Garuda, a giant-sized bird, who flew off with the Amrit to safety in heaven. On the way, drops of the nectar fell at 4 different places on the earth, making them sacred. Allahabad, or Prayag, as it is called in the scriptures, is one of them. Named after Kumbh, the pitcher which held the Amrit, a tradition of celebrating the symbolic myth at the 4 sacred cities began centuries ago. Elements of the myth have been incorporated in the celebration. It is celebrated every 12 years because it took Garuda that long to reach the heavens. The constellations are the same as they were when the gods got back the Amrit. The location is on the banks of a sacred river, whose waters are considered to have the same powers as the nectar of immortality. And a dip in the holy waters is essential. This is no ordinary bath. It is an elaborate ritual. Necessary ingredients have to be bought, and along with it comes some mandatory haggling. Mrs. Bose may not have any faith in the bottle vendor, but she is certain that one dip in the waters of the Ganges will earn her moksha, salvation from the cycle of rebirth. It is not just a quick bath. The Ganges is considered a goddess. She has to be worshipped, with a hope that in her strong currents, all the wrongdoings will be washed away. Having shed the load of the sins, a bonding develops between the goddess and the devotee, and they bottle her up into neat plastic. Her water will be transported back home for use in various religious functions. Perhaps for the next 12 years, when the river will once again turn into divine nectar, the Amrit.
It doesn't feel cold after the bath. It had seemed like it would, but the dip takes the chill away. I worshipped Mother Ganges with a coconut, incense sticks, flower garlands and vermilion. Mother Ganges is a married woman, so she has to be offered vermilion.
Kumbh represents a cultural continuity for a civilization that traces its origin to the rivers, that considers them as sacred, as places of pilgrimage, as givers of life, as bridges between the mortal humans and the eternal divine. The other bridge to the gods is the sadhu, ascetics who have renounced all the worldly belongings. In the case of the Naga sadhus, even the clothes. In their nudity, matted hair and ash-smeared bodies is manifest the historical continuity of a process that began in the 8th century. With the rise of new religions, constant invasions by proselytizing rulers, Hinduism was under threat. It was then that a visionary named Adi Shankaracharya started a movement by organizing the sadhus into akaras, which were made responsible for protecting, preserving, and propagating Hinduism. Akaras comprised of two kinds of saints: acharyas, who dedicated their lives to scriptures, and nagas, who trained to be warriors. After fighting prolonged battles, akaras won decisive victory for Hinduism. Although Hinduism reigns supreme in contemporary India, the akaras have kept alive many of the centuries-old traditions. And in its most spectacular form by the Nagas. Still proclaiming themselves as the warrior saints, their entire lifestyle is designed such that they conquer the elements. And hashish smoking certainly helps.
एक रंग में रहना है, दुनिया सब रंग में रहे।
Sadhus have to lead a life of single-minded devotion. It's a medicine to attain that. A medicine for meditation.
तब जब करने के लिए, भजन करने के लिए दवाई से।
In a country with stringent narcotic laws, millions of sadhus are given social and legal sanction to get high on hashish that is considered a gift from Lord Shiva, a member of the supreme trinity of the Hindu gods, and one who is considered destroyer of all evil. These holy men have come to the Mela from India's vast rural backyards, some from the cities, others from dense forests, and many from remote ice-bound heights of the Himalayas. At Kumbh, they set up tents where they are the star attraction. Devotees, spectators and media men throng to see them. Camera-friendly and bite-ready, these sadhus add a sense of circus to the world's biggest religious show. Sri Amar Bharti is one of those ascetics who practice severe physical austerities as a way of getting close to God. He has not lowered his arm for the last 24 years, and he is aware of the power of his sainthood.
A saint is like a touchstone, and you are like iron. If a saint touches you, you will become gold. Saints always remain pure, but Ganges becomes impure. Saints never bathe in Ganges, they only touch it.
इसीलिए संत कभी गंगा के अंदर स्नान नहीं करते, संत स्पर्श करेंगे।
Less ferocious and much fewer in numbers are the sadhavis, women who have donned the saffron robes and abandoned the material world. Maharaj Meera Kumari gave up her career as a classical dancer to live a life dedicated to the gods.
I'm a naughty sadhu, my child. What all will you shoot? Every 5 minutes, my character will change.
She may have given up the career, but has not abandoned her love for dance and music. The sadhavis watch an impromptu performance. Ramdas the monkey is out to win a bride. The girl does not like Ramdas. This monkey play brings smiles to women who live with deep emotional scars. Most of them widows or victims of violence. They become sadhvis seeking a safe haven. Over the years, the number of akaras has swollen, from 7 that were established by Shankaracharya to 13 of the present times. These orders that were created to fight hostile forces are now fighting a battle of supremacy among each other. Kumbh, the largest showcase of Hindu religiosity, this battle takes many forms, including exhibitionism. Each Akhada tries to outdo the other in displays of splendor. Among other things, organizing mega feasts is one way of doing just that. Far away from the carnival-like showcases of sadhus are kalpavasis. Unlike the floating population who come for a short while, mainly for a quick dip, the kalpavasis are the devout pilgrims who spend a whole month at the Kumbh. Their lifestyle is altered to exude piety. Living in tents, eating simple food, strictly following celibacy, meditating, bathing in the holy waters 3 times every day. This month-long disciplined lifestyle is called kalpavas. Its underlying principle is that such a spiritual retreat will rejuvenate not only the body, but the soul as well. Although it is prescribed for all Hindus, it is mainly the aged who practice kalpavas. 80-year-old Meena Devi has already attended 3 major kumbhs. This is her 4th. To help her move around, her 2 grandsons are accompanying her. This in spite of their exams next month. They fondly listen to stories about her exploits in the previous kumbhs.
कितना कर चुकी हैं?
3 थे तो बहुत तकलीफ से।
8 कुंभ आप कर चुकी हैं?
हाँ, 2 तो बहुत तकलीफ से। 5 6
My husband knows nothing. He moves around with this heavy personality. All the household responsibilities fall on me, so I manage to get away from all that when I come here.
तो वो सब भूल जाते हैं यहाँ आके।
Meena Devi is, however, one of those well-off kalpavasis who can afford a tent with an attached private kitchen. Meena Devi's daughter has brought all the provisions from home to ensure a constant supply of tea, the other elixir that Indians cannot do without. But this spiritual retreat does not come cheap. In a country where the per capita income is about $2,000, the charges for the tent, travel expenses, and food for the month totals roughly $1,000. The family priest drops by. He brings with him some religious teachings, sprinkled with an occasional joke. Meena Devi revels in this blend of piety and entertainment. These professional priests are called pandas, short for pandit. The devotees may not have their family doctors close by, but almost all certainly have a family priest. Mohanlal Panda and his ancestors have been attached to India's most powerful family, the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty. There are rumors that Sonia Gandhi is going to visit Allahabad for a dip. Mohanlal is anxiously searching for old records which the Congress president may like to see. These old weather-beaten papers with complicated dates and calculations hold the horoscopes and genealogy of India's Prime Minister family. Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Pandas have served as professional genealogists for centuries. For a huge population, lengthy familial records such as these are the only source for tracing their lineage. Mohanlal is full of stories about his father's close association with the former prime ministers. Not only did he act as their spiritual guide and genealogist, in times of political crises, he would offer prayers at the banks of the Ganges. For the ordinary pilgrims, Panda is the only trustworthy guide. For them, Pandas set up makeshift stalls at the river bank. Each Panda is attached to a particular region. When the devotees arrive at Kumbh, they first seek out their Panda. In this sea of humanity, for the predominantly rural and illiterate pilgrims, only visual signifiers help. Each Panda is allotted a symbol, which is printed on colorful flags. Some Pandas operate from boats. They are called ghatiyas. These floating Pandits help devotees perform the rites at the exact meeting point of the three rivers, because of which they are ranked highest in the hierarchy of the priests. Kumbh is considered the most auspicious time to make offerings. Pandas help orchestrate the entire ritual. And the offerings, which could be in any form, cash, clothes, food, jewelry, even cows, becomes the priest's earning. Devotees and Pandas haggling on the amount being offered is a common sight. There is a perception that Pandas rip off gullible devotees. Mohanlal defends his community.
This is just to malign the Pandas. The pilgrims give with love and devotion on the basis of their economic status. A Panda accepts any amount, be it 5 rupees or 100,000.
देश की जनसंख्या में 80% लोग पुअर हैं, तो 20% जो रईस हैं वो जो है नास्तिक हो गए हैं, उनके में धार्मिक प्रभाव कम हो गया है.
80% of the population in the country is poor. The 20% that is rich have become atheists. The 80% that are poor, they have little or nothing at all. But they do not think of their economic status when it comes to faith.
It is evident that the Kumbh is largely a showcase of rural India. Simple villagers come in search for salvation. Many are unable to even afford tents. They brave the elements. When the temperature dips to 3 degrees Celsius, carrying their small bags with nothing but a handful of grains and hot tea for comfort, fortified with strong conviction and loads of spirituality. Coming from small villages, many of them have stepped out of their familiar neighborhood for the first time in their lives. No wonder they often get lost in this crush of humanity. Cold, panic-stricken, desolate, they arrive at the lost and found camp. Every day, almost 10,000 people get separated from their loved ones and family members. Details of the lost ones are taken down by volunteers, but it is a tough task. The thousands of women don't even know the names of their husbands. Bound by tradition, many of them have been forbidden to utter their husband's name. With faith in God and trust in the announcers, they wait as the search begins. If there's one sound that reaches out to all at the Mela, it is the lost and found announcer's voice. At the end of the day, many will be guided by this voice to be reunited once again with their loved ones. No advertisement, no invitation, yet such a massive congregation. The Kumbh develops its own economic underbelly. It grows into an informal bazaar. Pilgrims and tourists in celebratory spirit make easy customers. Businessmen and small traders converge at the Kumbh to cash in on this festive mood. Munna's bewitching tunes not only add to the festivity, it's his USP to attract buyers. Many are tempted to buy his flutes. At 30 cents a piece, they're dirt cheap. But it is easy for some to get duped into paying 3 times the price. Religion is big business. It involves thousands of small merchants. For the rituals that are essential for demonstrating devotion, several ingredients are required. Traders who set up shops selling these manage to earn a decent livelihood. For the pilgrims, it is important to remain in touch with their villages and towns. And the sheer numbers ensures it's boom time for the owners of such public call telephone booths. The mobile phone technology is a luxury for city dwellers. Rural pilgrims who have come from far-off places depend on these booths to remain connected with their relatives. For the humongous population, 7,000 such telephone booths have been issued special licenses for the duration of the Kumbh. Yet one more instance of the celestial blending with the terrestrial. Manoj is a police constable posted at Kumbh. He will be away from home for 2 months. He was away from the police camp patrolling when his wife had called in the morning. Several attempts later, he manages a brief conversation with his wife. Manoj is one of the 10,000 security personnel deployed to maintain law and order, at times with force, more often politely, with shrieking whistles as an aid. They regulate the massive pedestrian traffic. To organize the Maha Kumba, arrangements have been made at a mega scale. The logistical requirements are mind-boggling. 80,000 tents, 150 kilometers of water supply pipelines, 15,000 streetlights, 20,000 toilets. The numbers go on and on. And behind the scene, there are thousands of personnel who toil from dawn to dusk The gods have been given the task of cleansing the devotees of their sins. But the arduous task of removing the filth and debris from the freezing waters is performed by mortals. To keep the environment clean, an army of 7,000 sweepers have been commissioned, with a special contingent assigned for Naibaras. These are special enclosures earmarked for barbers or nines. Puncturing of hair is considered an important part of the cleansing ritual in Hinduism. With millions of devotees queuing up for their heads to be shaved, almost 50,000 nais are kept busy round the clock. Among the millions who are getting their heads shaved is Matthew Williams. Matthew Williams is on his way to become a Hindu. A quick bath with water from the Ganges, vermilion smeared on his body, a series of mantras, and spectators who are curious but unquestioningly welcome Matthew to their religion. Now he is to be given a new name.
Since your name is Matthew, the name should be with Yam.
Matthew becomes Mahendra Kumar Sharma.
Mahendra is good. Mahendra is good. Okay.
In less than 2 hours, the Canadian Christian has converted himself into a Hindu. Like all religious festivals, the Kumbh also means different things to different people. For some, it is all about piety. Some come to enjoy the carnival spirit. For others, it's a chance for renewal, trance, and meditation. And many see it as a Woodstockian experience. It is this free interpretation that makes the Kumbh more than just a confluence of sacred rivers. In the coming together of travellers from across India and the world, the Mela in effect becomes a confluence of beliefs, cultures and philosophies from all over the world.
The Maya in Central America, big astronomer, they find exactly the number of the days and of the hour of the year because very specialized in the astronomy. And they know about the culture that the end of the world will be in 2012 in December. So exactly a little before the next Kumbh Mela. So maybe it will be the last Kumbh Mela. I don't have to forget.
Whether it was the Beatles or Gianpietro Masella from Italy, the mystical and the spiritual of India have always remained a tantalizing attraction for the Westerners. Gianpietro came to India 8 years ago. After an accident that left him paralyzed, one of the few things that remained with him was his experience in this country. So addictive, so hypnotic, he is drawn to it time and again. Gianpietro has not given up Christianity, yet he respects the power of the Ganges. Like a pious Hindu, with total devotion, he repeats the mantras after the priest. And the priest has no qualms about Giampietro worshipping a Hindu goddess. This hospitality of Hinduism becomes most evident during the Kumbh and draws thousands of foreigners to the Mela. Giampiedro's wheelchair is not a handicap. In this atmosphere, where the spirit of camaraderie is overflowing, there are any number of people ready to offer a helping hand. And Giampietro floats along with the crowds, taking in the colors, the sounds, and the rhythms.
The individual is nothing. And in a special place, in a special day, in a special year, some energy happens on you. I don't know if something happened, something changed, but I know that it's important to be in the same place like human being, not like myself, like Giampietro Marcella, but like a human being.
He may be skeptical whether this pilgrimage will change him spiritually. But Giampietro has surely understood the essence of Kumbh, a meaning that transcends the boat rides, the mantras and the hashish, a meaning that lies in rising above the self and blending into one larger collective identity. Like other pilgrims, Giampietro too visits the sadhus to listen to their words of wisdom and share a few drags of hashish. The senior sadhu here is Shivadas Baba, also an Italian. He came as a hippie in search of spiritual peace, got curious about the ways of the sadhus, and finally decided to become one himself.
When I was accepted inside the Udasi Panchayat Inter-Akara, that I am now sadhu, nobody, never, from the top mahant to the smallest sadhus, no one asked me to tell me how can you say exactly in English that you have to neglect your own religion and become a Hindu. Nobody speak me in this way. They accepted me in that, in their akaras, they give me, I eat with them, they give me love, food, knowledge, everything. In India I am very okay because I have no problem. Any kind of problem in this kind of life, you are respected for what you are. You have many facility here because it's culture here, Indian culture. To be sadhu in my country is very hard, very, very hard. Because they don't understand our way, they don't understand long hair, they think I am one like beggar, like one who want to live without work. Western mind is different because they don't know. It's different culture.
The amazing thing about Kumbh is that it never ever ceases to be a spectacle. As night falls, lights of all shapes and sizes come alive. There are prayers prescribed for all times of the day and night, and devotees gather on the ghats, ensuring that they do not miss any opportunity to appease the gods. The Akaras too don't miss a chance to boast their might, wealth, and their influence over the devotees. they parade through the length and breadth of the Kumbh, assisted by bands playing popular film tunes. Acrobats doing bizarre tricks. Folk dancers and musicians singing hymns, dancing and frolicking, all adding to the religious frenzy. This is the first Kumbh of the millennium, the first of the post-technology revolution India. There may be many wise holy men around, but a pre-recorded horoscope on fancy headphones is worth its price, and perhaps a sign of things to come. The staple diet of Indian television audiences is the mythological soap operas. Dressed in gaudy costumes, gods spout hyperbolic dialogues. Here, advertisers have thoughtfully erected giant screens for devotees who are addicted as much to television as religion. The pilgrims, in turn, get to watch a constellation of television stars playing their favorite gods in their favorite mythologies, which only reinforces the religious ambience of the Mela.
अपनी आशंकाओं को विराम दो तारक। किसी के रोकने से हम तपस्वी को उसकी तपस्या का प्रतिफल देने से रोक नहीं सकते। और जहां तक परीक्षा का प्रश्न है, परीक्षा जितनी कठोर होगी, वरदान भी उतना ही श्रेष्ठ मिलेगा। मांगो, क्या वरदान मांगते?
Like the rivers which never stop flowing, Kumbh does not go to sleep. Soon it will be time to go for a dip. Till then, one more prayer, one more bhajan. Bathing in the Ganges at any time during the Kumbh earns salvation for the devotee. However, there are 6 dates that are considered more propitious. At the Maha Kumba, the new moon night, or the Moni Amavasya, is the most special. After 144 years, the stars will arrange themselves in a unique formation. And the most auspicious time to bathe lasts exactly 70 minutes. It's a small window, considering there are millions of devotees, and barely 350-meter long stretch where the bathing can take place to accommodate all. The tradition is that the Akaras of holy men will bathe first. Then only can the ordinary pilgrims enter the water. The order in which the 13 Akaras will take the holy dip often becomes a contentious issue. Yet one more occasion for them to reiterate the hierarchy. In the past, this has often led to violent conflicts. This year, however, they have reached a mutual agreement. It's 5:30 a.m. The temperature outside is 3 degrees Celsius. The water will be even colder. And then they come in waves, one Akara after the other. This is no ordinary walk to the ghat. The entire retinue proceeds in gaudy splendor. A signal from the seniors, and the procession resumes its march to Sangam, to that exact point where the 3 rivers meet. The Nagas lead the procession. The sight of the river excites them. Self-control and discipline is maintained, even though it takes some policing by the senior sadhus. Finally, the moment has arrived. The senior sadhus know that millions more have to bathe. In a clockwork manner, the ghats are vacated to make way for the spunkiest of all holy men, the 20,000 Naga sadhus of Inter-Akara. The Nagas have had their fill of the Ganges. The Akaras vacate the ghats to make way for the ordinary pilgrims. Who break into an ecstatic religious frenzy. It is a moment that they have waited for, and salvation has been assured. Like the episode of the TV mythological, this Kumbh will also come to an end. But the faith in the divine seems eternal. The devotees will leave, but the Ganges will flow on, patiently waiting for the constellations to arrange themselves to that configuration when the waters will become Amrit once again. Waiting for the faithful to come back. Waiting for another 12 years till the next episode. The next Maha Kumba.